Yeah, so Washington clinched the berth to the playoffs already. They don't know if they're going to be the 6, the 7, or the 8 seed yet, though. There could be any of those. Damn. So you can be any of those. And let's go. Bada badum. Morris was traded in that deal in the beginning of the season when Curry was sent to LAW. Marcus Morris played on Oklahoma City for a couple of seasons, and now he's on Washington playing the bench position. How has he done? Yeah, well, he's averaging 7.4 points per game, Marv. He's shooting pretty well, actually. 54 out of 96. That's around a good ratio. He has 4 more shot attempts. He can get himself to 58% if he makes his last threes. Those last couple of threes. I don't know. He's not really the type of guy to shoot threes, though. He's more of a pass-first guy. He has shot in a lot of threes in his career, though. All-time record. He's played all 27. Pretty good health. Knock on some wood for that one, though, because we've been having so many injuries lately. So don't get too upset if we have another one today. Knock on wood. And, it's just going to be another big game tonight. John Karsten told the team if they win this game, they clinch berth to the 7 seed. Now, their goal is to obviously clinch berth to the highest possibility they can make it now. The updated standings as of right now, Washington is 5 games apart from Miami. They have to win all 5, and Miami must lose all 5. Also, what has to happen here is Washington, to clinch the 7 seed, to clinch the 6 seed, they must win 1 more game, and then no one can grasp their reach. That means basically that no one can grab them. To clinch the... they must win 1 game to clinch the 7 seed. To clinch the 6 seed, they must win 2 of their next couple games. Yeah, do they have a tough schedule? Washington squad. I mean... They play Miami. They're playing Denver right now. They play Orlando, Boston, and New York City. Win any of those. If you win this one, and you're in. And they're not just in. They'll be happy. Because they know that they're a little bit of ways apart from one of the squads, but... if they can clinch a 6 seed and avoid all of the other drama that's happening, and they just stole a spot in the standings too, that's a W for you. You just got a spot in the standings. You just swooped in. So then there's only 2 spots left. Then that's a win for you. That's a honest. That's a clear win for you. I mean, I would take it. Greg Lewinsky knows what's at stake tonight. A loss here would be big for Denver's squad. Let's go, bada badum. Denver traded all their draft picks before they got their new coach, by the way, so... they fired their coach. He traded away everything for this new squad. He said, I'm out after 1 day. No, he actually got fired, and then they made the rule. They made the trade. So this is all Enzo Royal right now. And he's had that opportunity to balance things with this squad. Obviously, we know Jenny Lewinsky went through a surgery. Her surgery was successful. Unable to function that arm anymore. Lost all nerves of that arm now. That was the damage that was done for that injury. Pretty severe injury, that means. But at the end of the day, They got her back, and I think that's all that truly matters is getting her back on the floor, and they did. They did exactly that. So that's a good sign for them. Let's go. Let's clap. Seems like we will have one camera again today. One of them didn't charge, so we will only have one camera again today. Hopefully tomorrow both of these cameras are ready to function. Unless this one has any battery now. Okay. So we're gonna get that camera on and then we'll start the game. Usually the game takes 40 minutes if it's a good one. If it's a bad game, it'll probably take 30 minutes to finish this one out. Matters on the type of game we're having here today. If it's good, it lasts longer. Probably the average, I'd say, is 40 minutes per game. So right now it is 3:09. That being said, the game would go up to 350. Let's go. Ba-da-ba-doom. Ba-da-ba-doom. Welcome to New York City. Yeah! And welcome to Denver, Colorado. Jenny Lewinsky. Bam, bam, ba-da-ba-bam, bam, bam, ba-da-ba-bam. 20% chance. They beat Dallas and they beat San Diego. Must win all four to avoid elimination. If San Antonio wins one. Or if San Diego loses one game, but they must tie then and win 3 of 4 last games. Then they get a little bit of the advantage. They get to win only 3 of their last 4 if San Antonio gets one more knockoff loss because they beat San Antonio. If Dallas loses one more game and Denver wins one more, then they clinch the 9 seed. They must win 3 out of 4 games for an 8 seed, must win 1 game for a 9 seed. So they put that 9 seed in there for draft projections purposes. Denver right now, this is going to be their easiest game to beat, to win. If they have to win 3 of 4, you got to upset either LAW or LAS2. You got to beat Nevada, and you have to beat Washington. How badly do they want to make the playoffs and play an 8 seed? Do they want to do it? Play Oklahoma City in the first round. That's the only hope you have left. You cannot go further than that. It's going to be either Oklahoma City or Minneapolis, by the way. Minneapolis and Oklahoma City have not determined it yet. We did determine the winner. We have not determined the first seed of anyone yet. We just determined the birth of playoffs today. For some teams, probably the top 10 teams in the league, already made it. Yeah! And Washington was part of that group. Yeah, but, 10 teams made it. 6 in the East and 4 in the West. Here is Simmons. No. Couldn't get the rebound and everything going out for him. And you know what's at stake for Washington tonight? Greg missed. Away all of that for nothing. So if Washington loses this game, this is their 28th game. They have 4 more. If Washington loses this game, they still have a chance to make the playoffs. I doubt that they have a chance to win. Yeah, they have they still have an opportunity to even get the 6th seed if they lose this game. They just can't let it happen again. Because if you get Rick Tridden Jr., if you get 2 losses in a row, there's no going back after that. You're on a losing streak, you're pretty much done. Denver's next game will be on the 28th. Today is the 27th. Oh boy, that's a mistake right there. 3! You know what we can do? We can swap those. So you see how LAW is playing tomorrow against Denver? Instead, they don't play tomorrow against Denver. They'll play on Tuesday against Denver, and then the LAW will play Monday against Minneapolis, so that Denver gets that one-day rest in between. Denver's next game then will be on Tuesday, and then they'll play at LAS on the 6th. LiAngelo Brown! Lopez missed. These two played against each other in college. Steven Aqua. Good start for Denver here. Really good start. Lee 3 points. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Aqua with a turnover and out of bounds. Deflection. Lee 3 points. And Lee just came out of nowhere and popped 3 3-pointers on them. LiAngelo missed. Lee finds Ryan Jr. Ryan C. Doo-doo. They had more shooters last season, I believe. Lopez 3. Lee waking up. Greg way off Aaron. He's fouled. And Aaron Simmons going to the line for 2. Look at Aaron. He floats his body around and puts on a little bit of a show there for the crowd. And Aaron Simmons, free throw made. Let's go. Brown, another miss. Lee down the rim. Scott Lee. It was a 6-point game. Now it's a 9-point game going the other way. Simmons only has 1 point tonight. No good again. Got a rebound. Embarrassing start for Aaron Simmons. Yeah, he's missing a couple of threes here. He talked about how he loves to play the game, and his 3-point shooting definitely needs to improve. Aaron Simmons for 3. Doo-doo. 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 And Lopez turnover. Jenny, they don't know how to use their players. Jenny Lewinsky. And if you're Denver, do you shut down the season and start tanking? When in the season? If you lose tonight and to LAW, you're out. So that's when you should start tanking then. And, not even play. Beep. Your starters anymore. Yeah. And give the young development time. And then you figure out what you're going to do for the next season. Is it LiAngelo Brown? That's my question for you. No, it's not. 14 assists per game. He has productivity. Some things that these guys don't have. It's not LiAngelo Brown that's the issue. I think they made a terrible trade, though. And that they should have kept their guys. That's my opinion on it. That they made a bad trade trying to get more superstars on their roster instead of building a superstar team. A lot of teams make mistakes with that by trying to form super teams that don't succeed. This is one of those moments as Jenny with a slip up. And there's Lee! I could definitely see Jenny Lewinsky playing next season. But I don't think she would play with Greg again. Jenny. So you're thinking about a divorce? Nah. Not a divorce, precisely. Maybe one of them's got to retire, though. But if Jenny does not want to, that's where the issue will start. Because no one's going to want them together now after seeing them on this Denver team with Calvin Johnson, Stephen Aqua, and LeAngelo Brown. Because they know that they're the issue and that them playing together will not work. Yeah, already 2 teams have given them a chance to work together. Look at them. They only have 5. And not to mention Scott Lee! When did they come into the season? They've been here for a very long time. Was it Denver-Dallas game? Yeah. So it was this game right here that they made their decision. The 117 to 119 versus Dallas. A lot of games have passed. Offensive foul on the play. So Aaron Simmons bumped into him and he took the charge. And it will go back to Washington basketball. So you go to that Dallas game right here. Check out their record: 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4, 1-5, 1-6, 1-7, 2-7, 2-8, 2-9, 3-9, 3-10, 3-11, 4-11, 4-12, 4-13, 5-13, 5-14, 5-15, 5-16. 5-16 with Jenny and Greg. 5-16. That is a terrible record. %. So it says with them that they're without them that they're 29%. Ryan C. Jr. with the miss again. Jenny. Here is Aqua. Yes, 9 points for Aqua. And Lee, 3, nope, unable to. Jenny, 3, yes. And Jenny hits a 3. 23% with them on the team. 2-5 record before they made that trade. And they all because they did not get their player in the draft. And they were willing to make a deal with them, but the deal was give us either Aqua, Johnson, or your draft picks. And Denver didn't even give up their draft picks then. I don't know what caused them to give up their draft picks for Greg and Jenny, but they did. And now you should give up Jenny and Greg by splitting them apart. That's the best thing you can do for your organization. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to care about their relationship. That's kind of an annoying part of the league. To have that, you cannot have that connection. Like, we know that Randy Gore and Robin Shapiro are best friends, and they will not play on a team without each other because they're best friends. They road dog each other. They're not gay or anything. We don't allow that in our league. But they play together. No matter how bad they are, they always fight through it together because they both already won a championship their rookie year. On the other hand, Greg wants to win a championship with Dallas, is what a lot of people have talked about. And it would not be possible to get both of them on that roster. And it's not possible to get either one of them on Lee. No good. It's not possible to get either one of them on to any other team unless they're red or yellow. Ah! Ah! There could be one team, Nevada. I didn't think about that, but why would Nevada give up everything to Denver, their rival, their division rival, so that Denver can be a little bit happier? Then no. And it's not like, I'm not saying this as a rude way or anything for the league. We know who's gonna win, who are the teams that are projected to win. Oklahoma City, Cleveland, Baltimore, or Toronto. That's what we know. Morris, he takes a 3, he makes it. There you go. Gemma White for 3. Simmons for 3, yes. Got it. Aaron Simmons hits that big time 3-pointer. Brown, bang as well. LeAngelo Brown. Decker, yes. 59 to 56. One win. You clinch the berth. Cannon with a steal. Watkins. They definitely have to make some moves. When you drop some players off at the front office, Denver's going to have a good pick this season. And who has their picks? That team won the whole thing. Whoever got their picks, congratulations. Because all their picks are gone. They're not theirs anymore. They're not there anymore. I want to know who has their picks. Like, that team is going to be stacked next season, and they could possibly be in that 4 contender spots. We mentioned one team from the West out of those 4 teams that are projected contenders. Cleveland, Toronto, and Baltimore are all competitive teams. And that's why and Oklahoma City has proven they're the only team. Ralph Bolino's just playing around. You know that, right? Yeah, he doesn't actually want to win. He doesn't actually want to win. He might. Because of the late great Owen Christ, he might actually push the team to win, but they have injuries. Jake is not the same guy. Dan can't shoot some nights and can another night. That's going to be very bad in game 7s. I mean, in a 7-game series, actually, you're not going to be able to rely on anybody except for yourself. If you're Ralph Bolino, you're a first-round exit team. If you can't win, and that's what happens when you don't have a good core. That's what will happen. And Minnesota kept all their picks too, so they might get something good out of that draft. They might even trade out Jake Morin because of that. They're not going to trade out Dakota's son, Kalen Garnett, but they could trade Jake to San Antonio for something. San Antonio does have a lot of things, and they'll make an easy deal with them. Greg Mordovich is always in talks with Kevin Garnett, the coach Kevin Garnett. So, Mordovich has done a really good job this season, I think. And this game is so close, huh? What about that? Andy Watkins. Very close with each other right now. We'll see what happens in that final quarter. Jenny comes in for LeAngelo. Yeah, Coach Enzo Royal didn't want to play Greg for some reason. I don't know what's going on with Jenny. 51% only. I think she thought that her career was already over. So for her to come back because of certain things. Like, she says, I don't even need the money. Like, Annie retired, and I came a year after Annie. So this will probably be my last season. And I'll just live wherever Greg lives. That's what she said. So how do you compensate for that if that happens now? If you're Denver? Well, you gotta trade her to a new team. You gotta. They didn't trade her either. They got her, so now they lose all their picks and one of their stars. It's just conflictively terrible for them. And I don't know how many years Greg has on his contract. He can't have more than one. Because next year is all in. Last season. So that means that he can have 2 years on his contract or 1 year on his contract. And look at that, it says 2. So they have to trade. So he has to get traded out. That's the end of the third. We'll go to the fourth now. Lee's gonna check back in. In this interesting game. We'll see how it ends. And, you know, what was the suggestion is that Annie Zam would be the coach by the start of next year. They're fooling themselves, though, with that, because Annie's not going to want to come back at all. Yeah, because she's married to Greg. So, that didn't happen, by the way. Annie Zam is managing the team, though. Just letting you know, she's the GM now of Denver. So she can't get fired. She can manage the team from other cities, though. She can do some traveling, make some extra cash. But it does put her on the roster as she's managing the team. And Lee hits a 3. Yeah! So Washington wins one more. They clinch a 7 seed. They already clinched berth to the playoffs. But they won't be the 8 seed now. They'll be the 7 seed. No matter what. If they win one more after this, they'll be the 6 seed no matter what. Because New York cannot come back from that then. Jenny with a turnover and out of bounds. I'm coming. So with that being said, Lee wasting some time. They'll clinch the 7th seed with a win here. Scott Lee. So then the 8th seed will only be available for Orlando, Chicago, or Charlotte with a win here for New York City, for Washington. If Denver can stop them, then there's still 2 spots available. But that goes over the limit for them. Washington and Orlando. Who won the season series then matters actually first. So it might not be true at all. It matters who won the season series. I'm pretty sure Washington beat them by a huge number, and that's why they're saying that it's over. Yeah, that is the truth actually. Non-divisional. Washington leads Orlando 1-0. But the but in that situation is it's only 20. Yeah, it's only 20. Plus 20. It's possible then. So it's not guaranteed yet, is what you're saying. No, nothing's guaranteed until everybody plays 32 games. And you just let it play out. That's what most teams do that don't make the playoffs. So they say, hey, let's push it to the 32nd game. Let's try to make it still. Scott Lee, because you don't know what could happen. But Denver loses one more game and they're eliminated from berth the playoffs. This was a required game to win. and they did not. Lee is so good. Oh, blocked by Brown. Lee, oh my goodness. He didn't. And they're not putting in their starting group either. They don't care. Beep. Scott Lee is coming out for Marcus Morris. Yep. They're not going to put them back in. Coach Karsten wants to rest them and get them ready up for the playoffs. They already clinched berth. And they'll get ready to be a 7 seed now. They have officially talked about it. And they are not done yet, though. They don't want that 7 seed. You got to decide, though, because Toronto and Cleveland, that's a confusing series on who you're playing. So what's going to happen there is Cleveland beat Toronto. So if they clinch the 6, they're playing Toronto. If they clinch the 7, they're playing Cleveland with certainties. So either Cleveland or Toronto. What do you think about that matchup? We haven't seen that one yet. But due to the fact that we haven't seen that one either, I'll be interested. But we already know the result of the first round. That means Washington and Toronto. That's going to be a good series, though. Maybe we could go to 5 or 6. Washington and Cleveland, not too much. I see it as a sweep, to be honest with you. Maybe 4-1, maybe 5 games, and that will do it. Beep. That's going to end that one. Oh, and he went 4 for 6. So that means he got 57%. Good for him. Marcus Morris and Scott Lee didn't have to do much tonight to beat Denver. Denver will play in 2 days. Washington does not play till August 30th. That's 3 days from now. What day is that, though? That's on Wednesday. So we'll see them back on Wednesday to play again. Let's talk to Scott Lee, our player of the game. Washington will be at Orlando next. At home, so they get to relax, be at home. Denver will have to play one more home game until they pack up their bags. And it will be a good one. If they win it, they still have an opportunity. They have an opportunity, actually, to pass LAW and eliminate them. If they lose it, they're out. They're officially eliminated. They'll be the first team to be eliminated from playoff contention if that happens. I don't know the schedule for Charlotte, though. And Charlotte's only 1 game away, too. So know that for a fact that Charlotte's only 1 game away. They play on September 1st. So that means that, yes, Denver will be the first team to be eliminated if it happens. Charlotte must win all 4 of their last games to make the playoffs. That's clearly what it says. Scott Lee, let's talk to you. Scott, another win for your team tonight. How do you feel about this great win?
I'm just going out there and competing every night, you know. We play hard basketball, we play rough basketball, we play tough, and just came out and took care of an easy win tonight.
That was a big game for your squad. You guys managed to really do well at the end of that game. How did you put on a show to make sure there was no chance or hope for that team?
Just taking care of each other, doing things for one another that we can care for each other and work together and make everything happen well.
Big win for a big player tonight. Congratulations, Scott Lee.
Thank you.
Lee has, I believe, 10. So he gets his 11th right here. And that's a good win for him. He gets 11 player of the games, too. Out of
the 13 wins that they have on the season. So he's only not gotten 2 of them. I think Decker got the other 2. If I'm being completely honest with you. I think Decker got the other 2. I'm not sure if Decker